You can spend months memorizing grammar tables in a quiet room, but everything changes the moment a glass of water splashes across your laptop. In that sudden scramble for napkins, the rules of formal syntax usually disappear. You need a solution immediately, and your brain stops searching for the correct conjugation. This is where conversational English actually lives. It functions as an improvisational way to handle these small daily obstacles as they happen. By looking at common interactions, from a broken appliance to a forgotten password, we can see a predictable pattern that native speakers use to get through the day. Recognizing this pattern makes English feel less like a school subject and more like a practical skill for handling real-world situations. Most of these conversations begin with a specific snag that disrupts the schedule. Native speakers tend to be very direct when identifying the problem. They use short, blunt statements. The washing machine is broken. I'm short by 50 cents. My wisdom tooth hurts. This directness is a practical choice. When a person needs help with a specific task, they remove any word that doesn't help define the situation. Trying to be overly formal or vague often gets in the way. If you hide the problem behind too many polite phrases, it takes longer for the other person to understand what you actually need. Stating the problem clearly changes the energy of the room. It moves the conversation from general talk toward a specific goal. In these moments, telling a friend, "I ran out of toothpaste," is a signal. It lets them know that the normal routine has stopped and you need a way to restart it. Once the problem is out in the open, the conversation moves into a brainstorm. The speaker usually brings the other person into the problem with a question. They ask, "What should we do?" Or, "Did you try restarting it?" These questions turn the listener into a partner. Instead of just watching the problem happen, they are now helping to figure it out. Suggestions like checking a cabinet or borrowing from a neighbor help share the effort. The pressure of the situation is halved because two people are now looking for the answer. This phase is less about the literal advice and more about the connection. It creates a small team working toward a common result. The arc ends with a resolution. A plan is set, and both people agree on how to move forward. There are specific ways we wrap these moments up. People often promise a future action, like "I'll pay you back," or use common idioms like "you're a lifesaver" to show they appreciate the help. This same pattern applies even when there isn't an emergency. Small talk often follows this route to solve the problem of a boring or a silent moment. When friends complain about being stuck in heavy traffic, they are using their shared frustration to build a conversation. The gridlock becomes a topic they can tackle together. We see it at the horse track, too. Cheering for a horse provides a shared focus. It gives everyone a reason to react and interact at the same time. Whether it's fixing a laptop or just passing the time at a race, the way we use English to fill these gaps in the day stays remarkably consistent. This pattern of identifying a snag and working through it shows up everywhere, from casual chats at home to formal interactions with strangers. On an airplane, the same script is used. A passenger points out they are cold, and the flight attendant provides a blanket. The steps are the same, even in a professional setting. The words might get more polite or formal depending on who you are talking to, but the goal of moving past the friction remains the same. Fluency is found in how comfortably you can move through these exchanges. It's about knowing how the conversation will likely unfold. When you see English as a way to handle these daily situations, the language feels more like a useful skill you can practice every time you step outside.